Hey guys, welcome to Trimmer Trails. What do you do when it's cold outside and your favorite trail is covered in 10 feet of snow? You head to the desert. Today's highlighted trail is right outside of Lake Havasu, Arizona, actually in California. It's the Whipple Mountain / Hightower Road. Let's go check it out. Whipple Mountain Hightower Trail, Lake Havasu, Arizona. The trail itself is actually in California. It's going to be 23.6 miles. You can expect about 4 hours to get this one done. The trail itself is just dirt, chunk rock, and sand. The modes I used were 4-high, mud, and ruts. Highlights, there's several. You have broad views of Lake Havasu as you climb up into the mountains, broad desert vistas, and native pictographs at the end of the trail. Please remember that our cameras have stabilizers on them. The hills are not going to appear as steep, and the bumps are not going to be as rough. Also remember that we review this and every trail at the end of our video. Let's go check it out. First part of the trail, you start to climb up in elevation and get into some more color changes, which are pretty awesome out in the desert. The whole reason we get to experience this trail is because the power companies have built this road to supply the high transmission lines coming out of Lake Havasu. Make sure that you don't leave trash behind and you keep it better than you found it. These are the kind of trails where you just get out and do some overlanding. The scenes are incredible, and we're going to start climbing up into elevation. We're going to get up to the top of the mountains and have some awesome views of Lake Havasu looking back down into the valley. about 45 minutes or so, several miles, you climb up to the top elevation of the trail and the valley opens up down below you. You have large vistas of Lake Havasu off to your east, and you can see the Whipple Mountains off to your west. This is a great overlanding trail, guys. We actually get to the bottom of this trail and camp for the night, but you can do an out and back, and there is a loop available as well. The final destination, we climb out of the Whipple Mountains, we get out into the desert, and we check out some ancient Indian petroglyphs at the very end. Let's go. Hey guys, so there you have it, the Whipple Mountain / Hightower Trail. This was a really cool trail and I highly recommend getting out to it. Sometimes just doing overlanding trails are fun because they're low key, low stress. You don't got to worry about slashing a tire or banging into something, and that's why I enjoyed this trail so much. A couple things to remember about the desert. Obviously, make sure you carry enough water when you're out there, and even if you're not thirsty, make sure you're drinking it. Also remember that you are a long ways away from fuel. So make sure that you always have a full tank when you start a trail, and Roto-Packs are not a bad idea if you're actually planning on going further and further out into the desert. This trail is maintained by the electric companies, and I would assume that this trail continues on for another 100 to 200 miles just out into the desert. You could take it forever. Maybe one day I'll experience that. There's a lot of cool things out in the desert if you haven't experienced it before. There are some more technical trails for sure, but this one was so low-key that it was a blast. At the end of the video, you saw that rock outcrop, and then you saw the petroglyphs. At the end of the trail, if you turn to the left, right at that wash, there is this massive rock outcrop where the Native Americans have always passed through this area, and they've left all of their markings there. So it's a really cool thing to check out. We spent about 30 minutes there just looking at some stuff. Then we headed further down the trail, set up the tent, and got ready for the next trail, which I'll show you on the next trail video. With that being said, let's jump into the reviews. On this channel, we do everything in a 1 to 5 scale, being fun, fear, technical, and scenery. For fun, this was a fun trail, guys. Sometimes doing a trail that is low-key and has no obstacles is a blast because you just get to enjoy the scenery. That's what made this trail so fun for me. I'm giving it a solid 4. For fear, it's not a fearful road. This is a great road if you're in this area and you're brand new to kind of shelf road or rocky type trails. Go do this one because it is so low key. Really, you have the shelf road, but you're still about 1.5 lanes wide. There was never any pucker factor at all with it, even going down the grades. They're just so well maintained. It was a good time. It's getting a 1.5. That leads us into technical. Same thing, it's not a technical road at all. The only time I would consider this road to be technical is if you've just had a massive rain. I would highly recommend not doing this trail if it's been raining out there in the desert. But 99% of the time, if the desert's been doing what the desert's been doing, this is a fun trail for you. That leads us into scenery. As long as you realize that you're going to be following the high transmission lines all across the desert, the scenery is beautiful. And really the towers weren't ever really in the way. You just kind of follow them. They're to your left, they're to your right, but it doesn't screw up the view at all. I thought it was beautiful out there. And the further we got out into the desert, the more it even opened up, the more I enjoyed it. So for scenery, it's getting a solid 3.5. Thank you so much for watching these videos. We truly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, please hit me up down below. If you haven't subscribed yet and you want to see more content like this for full-size trucks, please give us a subscribe. We're trying to build up to get the algorithm moving on this YouTube thing so that we can show more people all about the F-150 Ford Tremor platform and full-size truck trails. Until next time, guys, we hope to see you out there on the trails. Bye.